They told us he wouldn't live until 3, and Carter passed away just before, about a week before his 17th birthday. We didn't have the support we needed. Having a palliative care program, having a hospice for kids is something this region needs. Our community needs to realize what families are going through. This is something you can't imagine and you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy.
Hamilton is one of the largest cities in Canada, of course, with a world-class regional pediatric hospital and without a local pediatric hospice facility. Joining me now, 2 individuals who are dedicated to the critical expansion of pediatric care right here in our great city, what we call Hamilton. Lou Fraporti, host of the new Cable 14 series Mavericks, and Dr. Dave Lysecki, medical director of Keaton's House, Paul Paletta Children's Hospice. And to both of you, we welcome. Thank you both for being here. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We'll get to the video in a minute. I got to compose myself. 43 seconds, and that was touching. Lou, let's start off with you as a champion of this great city of ours and all the work that you have done. You are now, we can add TV host, producer, executive director to your resume, hosting a new show right here on Cable 14 called Mavericks.
Thanks, Mike, and chief bottle washer, evidently, as well. Yeah. We wanted to shine a light on people in the community that were making a significant difference. Remarkable people, and one of the people that we were privileged to have on was Dr. Dave Lysecki. I've known Dave for a number of years in support of this particular project. One of the most remarkable, quiet, but impactful human beings in this community, and we're delighted to feature him on the show and to have him here to talk to you about this really important project.
Yeah, Dave, so thrilled to have you here. Hamilton, Westmount boy, St. Thomas More, did some time at McMaster, and now you're going to be part of something that has been so desperately needed for so long in this city, Keaton's House. Talk to us about your experience to this point in regards to how this whole operation is being put together.
So, you know, we use the cliche that it takes a village, right? And this really has been an enormous community effort from leaders like Lou, from our champion CEO Danielle, from the donors, the board of directors, from Hamilton Health Sciences and Kemp Care Network, trying to work together to bring this to a reality. The truth is that Canuck Place, one of the first pediatric hospice in North America, was opened now 31 years ago. We're way behind the times, and it has been inspiring to see many parties, once they hear about what's going on, when they understand the need, taking up the charge and working together to make this a reality.
And of course, a beautiful part of our city where Keaton's House is going to be out in Dundas there, just behind Little John and behind University Plaza there. Peaceful, tranquil, just what our youngsters need while they are going through this horrible time in their life. What words of advice are you having to offer to Keaton's House and some of your suggestions?
You know, we are trying to achieve an incredible balance, which is that many families are going to have the saddest moments of their life at Keaton's House. Many families are going to have the happiest moments of their life at Keaton's House. Keaton's House is going to be a place of living. It will also be a place of dying. Holding both of those at the same time is a really challenging and difficult thought for most of us. I have to be honest, the families that I work with actually live in that space every day. They are constantly holding the knowledge of their child's mortality and the desire to fill that child's days with as much life and joy as possible. We're inspired by these families. We take their stories with us everywhere we go. We are trying to create a place that embodies what they live every day and how they inspire us. It is a challenge. It's a challenge to try to explain to people, to understand that, but what we want is a place where families feel at home. A child living a short life is not the natural order. And therefore, the way our society and the way our infrastructures are built are designed to for children expected to become adults. When someone meets a child, the first 3 questions: what's your name? How old are you? What do you want to be when you grow up? Mm-hmm. How does that play into the life of a child who isn't going to get to be an adult? We don't think about it, but we're systemically structured that way. This is going to be one place that is designed explicitly for them, for their experiences, for their families' experiences, which is different and unique. And at our, our desire, our hope, is that at its heart, it feels like a place for them, and we're the guests. We're the ones coming in to help, but this is their second home.
You've studied, you've done all the schooling, you've seen this. How do you and your staff go about going into a hospice and coming out and then trying to lead a normal life when you see so much sadness?
There is a mental hurdle that you need to get past, and everybody in our field and even adjacent people like Lou to take up this charge. It's understanding that it is internalizing the notion that the length of a life does not determine the value of a life. Mm-hmm. What has been given to family 1, family 2, family 3 all have different stories. There are things, accepting the things we cannot change, and then moving forward with given that, how do we make today the best day it can be? Right. And there's so much. Once you're over that hurdle and once you're there and you realize there's so much to be done to make today, then you can't turn away. Then you need to be in that space and providing that help.
So well said, so well said. Lou, also behind this, there are other champions of our great city who are behind this. There are donors that are required. What has been the outpouring of support that you've had, and when are things going to be opening doors down there at the Keaton House?
Mike, if I may, let me just first say that, as should be evident to people who watch the show and watch this interview, knowing Dave is one of the most profoundly impactful people, I think, in this community. He voluntarily goes into some of the darkest corners of the human experience and accompanies families who are forced into that. It's a remarkable calling, and he and Danielle and the others who've been involved in the project from the very first moment of my meeting them, now at this point well over 5 or 6 years ago, brought home the necessity of bringing facilities in place where children and their families can comfortably face that end of life. Paul Paletta was one of the first in this community to hear Danielle's story. I was privileged to bring them together, and Paul, as I think you were aware, made a spectacularly large financial commitment to the hospice, which was seed capital. Now, you've asked about fundraising for this facility. We are not there yet. It's one of the reasons why I was privileged to have Dave on the program and here with you today, is to bring to the attention of this communities and neighboring communities, because the facility, as Dave can explain, serves not only Hamilton, but the entire region. That facility, the people behind it, need help, need further financial support and help. And that process of bringing that financial commitment to the building of the facility is ongoing right now.
Very important. We do have to wrap up. Our time is going. However, in the meantime, where can people go to find out some more information if they want to help out, get involved, or just educate themselves or others?
CampCareNetwork.org has beautifully written information on the project, on the need, and if they're interested in learning about pediatric palliative care more broadly, they can also check out pediatricpalliativecare.ca, which is the website of Canada's Pediatric Palliative Care Alliance. Lots of great information for people to understand the experiences, families that are living in our communities, in school with our children, and yet it doesn't always hit our radar what's going on in their lives.
Lou and Dave, thank you very much for coming in and giving us such a powerful look at very important family services that are going to be taking place right here in our region. So to both of you, thank you very much. I appreciate it.